I'm Paige Lightman, the DM of the Feats and Fables podcast, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. Aglarond is a peaceful, pastoral nation of half-elves. Our heroes are part of the Foresters, elite scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. Our heroes are heading towards the Singing Sands, racing the nation of Thay to try and recover an ancient elven artifact. The Red Wizards of Thay wish to warp the artifact to their own evil ends. So let's meet our heroes. First, we have Victor Toussaint, a human eldritch knight fighter, played by Ron Frankie.
Hopefully not about to be squished by a giant.
Time will tell. Then we have Wildfire, a fire genasi evoker wizard, played by Joe Strachey.
I slumber.
It's true, you do. Flap, 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 flap. Then we have Ross, a lizard folk Drake Warden ranger, played by Coda of Codab Games.
Hello, everyone.
Then we have Mira, a water genasi Circle of the Land druid, played by Dr. Andrew Huang.
Good evening.
And then we have Silvio, a Satyr College of Eloquence bard, played by Ben Heisler.
Bonjour! Or bonjour.
Previously on Feats and Fables, a pass by the Tannith Mountain showed us that it's healing after the heroes have lifted the red-capped Gearflagon's curse. Some ogres showed up to bear out a grudge against the heroes on Gearflagon's behalf. They carried Gearflagon's youngest brother, pinned to a pole with iron spikes. The heroes beat the ogres, set the red cap free, and now he owes them big. As they camped that night, a curious stone giant asked about the magic that Victor was carrying. And that is where we left our heroes.
Paige, I think you are underselling just how dominating we were in the battle against those ogres. Like,
not at the end.
Dice. I blame my dice. No, it was very hilarious at the end. So if you missed this last week, listen to this. So Silvio, as is his wont, casts Hypnotic Pattern on a couple of the ogres, and they get one mezzed off to the side, I think. And because these are special Aglarondian mountain ogres, they're resistant to magic, so they're very hard to catch in a mezz like that. So they have one off to the side, they kill the other two, and it's like, all right, we're gonna get that third one. Ron's like, Victor shoots it with a bow and arrow. Boink! Okay, that missed. Boink, boink, boink! Yep, those missed too. Everybody's like, boss, they're just standing there. We got things to do. Boink! Yep, we're gonna call that one beat, and then they just left.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, legit.
Kind
fair.
of happened.
All right, so you had come to a lovely mountainside and found a little camp that was clearly a traveler's camp. And there was a stream nearby, so there was water, there was firewood piled up from people who keep these kind of things stocked, probably the foresters. And as you were sitting there, sort of relaxing from the day, a part of the mountain peeled itself off in the form of a gigantic humanoid who became very curious about the magic Victor was carrying. And just for purely illustrative purposes, I'm going to put this on a gridded format. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything.
I was going to say, don't. Hey, Paige.
Hey, Ben.
I would like to think for a minute, because I recall from my time when I was reading all about Aglarond as part of Forester training, and that there are creatures that emerge out of the mountains that are not in fact stone giants. They are giant ancient other creatures, and I would like to see what I can recall about those.
please make me an I recall things about stone fae creature stuff check.
If it's Fae, do I get my normal advantage? Because it's Fae?
Yes.
Yeah. Were there happen to be religious teachings about this instead?
If you roll religion, you will find out different information.
All right, cool. Hey,
What were you asking again?
I am trying to recall, and by 19 I have a 20. I was trying to recall that so in Aglarond, especially up in these mountains, and really anywhere around the mountains that we have our fortress near, there are giant creatures that are often mistaken for stone giants that were creatures that we sealed a pact with, millennia ago, and they built that giant wall that we hid behind after we got our shit kicked out. And so I'm trying to recall if this is one of those or if it looks more like a stone giant.
Huh.
Or they look more like a stone giant. Apologies.
Yes, definitely a they, not a him.
Maybe
So
we should ask.
you think back to your religious training, and it doesn't help you perhaps identify this particular creature, but you know that the faiths of Aglarond, particularly those of the Seldarine, there's not like a clear-cut line between like people and gods. Like there's gods, the major gods, minor gods, demigods, sort of gods, kind of gods, and the difference between very powerful fae and some of the lesser powerful gods is kind of squishy. And so there were definitely stone fae that were very powerful, that were revered as deific among themselves. They kind of looked like this, but the habits and ways of pleasing those particular stone fae and worshiping those particular stone fae are about all you've got.
As a part of that subset, do I know what a good gift would be if this is a fae?
So stone fae in particular enjoy gifts that are old. They appreciate things that take patience. So sometimes an elaborately carved piece of stone, where it was a single piece of stone, but somebody would carve out like a ball inside of a box, which, as you can imagine, is a very careful, patient process, is the sort of thing that they enjoyed.
If only we had some sort of fine aged wine.
I was going to say some finely crafted by hand, intricately made loincloths. I don't think the sizing is right, but
Let's
Swear to God, if you give a giant a loincloth, this giant is going to... Rocks fall, everyone dies. It's going to have a whole new meaning.
let's keep the loincloths in our back pocket, okay?
all right. So I think on that while people continue talking.
Yes, it's only right that one is your leader, because they carry the magic, the giant figure says. Zlogan. The giant mentioned that their name was Zlogan.
I mean, Paige, I have not made an aggressive move towards this guy, but like you have been with Russ long enough to know that he is like a cat ready to spring.
You got that butt wiggle going on?
Like if at the drop of a hat, I'm ready to defend our measly campsite.
Okay, noted. You're on alert posture.
It is true that I have some elemental magic that has been bestowed upon me. However, I only came upon it recently, so it did not contribute to their choice necessarily to make me their leader.
The Titanic figure looks at you and kind of tilts their head to the side. You can practically hear stone grinding together. And they say, "Really? That looks like it's been there a long while."
Are they looking at my sword or at the stones in my head?
It's a little hard to tell.
I'll
You can make me are you looking at my my eyes are up here, buddy, check, but I think your passive perception is not that good.
I'll just leave my sword where I am and take a couple steps to the left. So it becomes very obvious which one they are looking at.
Okay. Bachonk. Yes, the figure seems to pay no attention whatsoever to your sword.
Okay. Yes. I don't know how old these gems or crystals may be, but I just got them relatively recently. I was wounded in battle, and while I was out of it, a passing, I'll just say healer, I don't know much about them, bequeathed them upon me. They saved my life, and they've granted me some magical powers or enhanced already existing ones. But otherwise, they're a mystery.
The giant says, as you can practically hear them thinking. They lean over towards you and kind of have to go down on a knee and a hand to kind of get down to where they can see you, and their face is about the size of a refrigerator. And they kind of lean towards you. Are you going to do something about that?
I'm going to steal my resolve.
Okay. So they bring their face down towards you, and like I said, it's about the size of a refrigerator. This is a very big person. And
like a big refrigerator, or like a dorm refrigerator?
Like a big refrigerator. Like a big refrigerator.
Like a Sub-Zero?
Like a normal what the hell do I know? Like a normal like our refrigerator.
Like a minus 80 or like
that's
freezer?
a freezer, I know, and it's not as big as a minus 80.
Now, is this in a counter?
Right.
The kinds that are in line with the counter, or the kind that stick out?
Is
The
it a
kind,
restaurant
the kind that
area?
stick out. And it's full of gelato. It's a freezer full of gelato.
Prime subscription.
Well, it's very easy for me to stay calm in the face of this creature because my mind is just running calculations about what type of cooling unit their head is approximately sized as. So I can stay cool as a cucumber myself.
Does somebody want a podcast? I'm giving away a podcast. Would anybody like a
I think we should
podcast?
switch to the. Let's switch to the sub dance because we
Oh,
owe
that's
maximum
right. We got a sub.
dance.
That'll be fun. Okay.
That'll give
No,
Victor
no,
some
it's-
time to process.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a sub. Who gave us our sub?
Maxim, 2-month
Maxim.
sub.
Maxim. You're the man or the
Victor
woman. I'm Maxim.
is not-
I'm
Thank
worthy
you for
indeed.
dancing.
I'm Maxim. I'm Maxim. Woohoo!
It's a very nice.
Very nice.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're
Thank
helping
you,
enable
Maxim.
our shenanigans.
Thank you very much.
Would you like a podcast on Maxim? I'll give it to you.
I think enabler is probably the right term.
Okay. Giant leans over, puts their face right up to Victor, and you can smell them. They have it's not an unpleasant smell. It kind of smells like when you dig into dirt a lot and you get that kind of dirt smell that comes up.
Paige, at about this time, Ross is going to break the tension that is going on between Victor and the giant by saying, Victor was chosen to be our leader because his bravery has almost certainly sealed his fate.
We were pretty sure that he was a goner like 3 or 4 times. We were like, it's only perfect that it goes with him because we have a whole thing going. But I won't get into that.
The giant looks around, bemused. You can see they're trying to figure out all these small folk things going on, and it's largely not penetrating. So the giant sniffs at Victor a couple of times, and it's a pretty big gust of wind. Your clothes blow in the gust. The giant says, "That's very old magic."
Do you know anything about it? I've been told it is perhaps earth elemental or earth fey in nature, but that's a pretty vague starting point.
It smells like the Galib Moor to me.
Okay. Well, historically, they've been allies of Aglarond, so I'll take that as a positive sign.
Oh, you know of the Galib Moor?
I believe they constructed a big wall for us.
Whoa. Galib-Dur or Galib?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
as my
they're
friend said.
very different from each other.
Well, then I want to rephrase. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I also do not know the Galib Moor.
I am totally checking my notebook, being like, I know I read about this somewhere.
Make me an I know I read about this somewhere check.
I wrote this down. I wouldn't have.
No.
Wow! You didn't even write it down.
Man, I don't even think you know about them with those 2 rolls combined.
I don't know.
Combined, you might have something, but not separately. Yeah, the Galib Moor, Galib-Dur you've heard of, but Galib Moor, that's a new one on you. So Giant says, yes, that seems much like the Galib Moor. They were definitely the wall builders, though that was a pretty good time ago.
So wait, who were they?
They're the Galib Moor? He says, as if that should mean something to you. They say, as if that should mean something to you.
How would I know one to see one?
Oh, you have never met the Galib Moor.
That is probably true. Although I'm learning a lot of things in this conversation.
They're much like the Galib-Dur, but bigger.
More makes sense.
Yes. It's an ancient word that means large.
We compared to the Galib-less, which are the tiny versions of the Galib-Dur.
Wait, not.
I thought that the Galib-Dur were giants. Am I wrong about that?
They are usually about person size. They like to curl up into rocks so that you cannot tell the difference between a Galib-Dur and a rock. They also like to run down hills very quickly and hit you right in the junk. They would go directly for Victor if this was a thing. But thankfully, and then Sylvia looks behind him at the mountain range and then realizes that he could never tell if any of those rocks are Galib-Dur. Thankfully, that's just not a problem right now.
Wait a minute. So they like to curl up and act like rocks, and they are bigger than the Galib-Dur. Raz pauses and looks at the giant.
The giant.
You're not.
No, I got none of that.
The giant slowly shakes their head. Yes.
So then, you are of the Galib-Dur more.
Oh no, I'm completely different. The giant smiles slightly as if that explains it all.
So just to be
Yeah, Ross nods along.
so just to be clear, these crystal rocks on my heads, I'm not currently host for Gallimore children that are gonna just continue to grow until they like explode out of me.
As someone that was really excited for an alien last weekend, that's a fabulous, fabulous mental image.
Yeah, if I was
Do you
running
have
a different kind of
indigestion,
game,
Victor?
I would totally do that. This
I mean,
isn't that kind of game.
I guess I might survive because they're kind of on the side of my head, but it still probably wouldn't be pleasant.
Yes. The
Ultimate.
giant looks at you again quite closely and says, I don't think that's how they procreate.
Just
But I never asked.
That's fair. Our last posting was near the swamp. There's a lot of parasites and stuff that kind of get up inside you that we got to deal with. Well, as someone that has come across this ancient magic by accident, do you have any advice for me? Is there anything I should do to get to be properly respectful towards it? Is there anyone that'll kill me on sight because I have it? Are you one of those people?
Oh no, I have friends among the Gallimore. It is interesting to see that magic blended into the small folk, though. I have not seen that before. You might should talk to the Gallimore about it.
Are there any here between here and Shyvar Pass that we could have a conversation with along the way?
So the giant sort of looks down the length of the Shyvar Pass, thinks for a moment. It's a really long moment. Thinks for a moment. There probably are, but they're very reclusive. The Gallimore are much more gregarious.
Well, I guess I'll just strike up conversation with any large rocks near our camping sites, and hopefully one of them will talk back to me at some point.
That seems like a good idea. You never know when the stones are listening. So the giant stands up to their full height. I'm sorry, Koda, go ahead.
There's something I'm still confused about. I thought that your modifications were elven made.
The sword is elven, and it has responded to the modifications, but we don't know for sure about the modifications.
Didn't the witch say something about a elven nobility spirit infesting your sword?
Yes. But my sword is related but separate than the crystals that are in my head. I had the crystals for a long time before I got the sword.
But it was the crystals that allowed you to commune with your sword, is that right?
That could be the case. It does seem to be the case, but the elves made the sword, but they could have made an elemental sword, or maybe the sword dates from the time when Aglarond's alliance with the Gallimore was like in full effect, and the sword was like a peace treaty sword or something between the two races.
Wouldn't that have some sort of implications, though? Magic powers of a pact and set.
is quite possible, but we would need to, learn more.
The giant stretches a bit, moves their shoulders, says, I have been sitting there and thinking for a long while. I think I will stretch my legs a bit. Have a good evening. And they reach down somewhat awkwardly to pat Victor as gently as possible on Victor's shoulder.
How much damage does it take?
None. He might stagger a bit, but he didn't take any damage.
I don't know, but his arm pops out of its socket a little bit.
Right.
And the giant starts striding off to the west. Would you like to take an attack of opportunity?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Just asking.
I mean, does he have any obviously like cool magical gear? They
have what appears to be a highly tarnished metal crown around their head, and they have bracelets and bangles and anklets made out of it appears to be just strings of stone. But those, I mean, if you'd like to investigate them further, we can do this.
I was going to say, this is a weird question. I suspect Victor's mind is being dominated by some elven greed monster at this point.
Sure.
I was just curious.
Oh wait, y'all didn't see the +7 Merkle sword that they were just, using as a toothpick?
I didn't see it, but I definitely heard it go snick or snack.
Yeah, it got that plaque real good.
Yes. So, the night continues to be nighttime. The crook burbles pleasantly not far from you. The temperature drops to about 38 degrees.
So, Paige, how close to this fire can I get without actually being on fire? Because that's where Ross is.
Right. Ross is running a very delicate experiment all night, calling how close to the fire do I need to be hot as I can without burning.
Like, he definitely sets up a rock to kind of reflect some of that heat back onto him, and just has, like, buried in furs, doing just anything and everything he can to stay warm.
Yes, what is not helping is Goose's absolutely frigid footy paw pads being pressed up against various parts of Ross.
I mean, she's probably really cold as well, so...
Yes, Black Drake Toby.
Mira observing this will kind of go, would you be more comfortable if I just kind of melded you with the rock around here? You look so cold, Ross.
The stones outside the fire are as cold as ice as well.
How about it? And points her finger right next to Ross and pops out a nice, fresh sulfurous thermal vent right next to him that radiates heat. How about one of those?
It is delightful. And he will wrap up and settle down now in between the fire and the thermal vent.
Nice. Some vent worms kind of gently fan you all night.
Yes.
Worth it.
Yes. All right.
Here we'll just roll over every few hours and just give him one of those. So
Sure.
Excellent.
it's a service I provide.
Yes.
It's hard being exothermic in an endothermic world. Okay.
It is. It is. All right. So I assume you're going to set watches. Nothing particular happens. And the morning sun rises the next day, and it is a lovely day in camp.
Nope, still too cold.
I mean, yes.
Right.
Well, hopefully we'll run into some dwarves today.
Yeah.
Mira,
Maybe.
Yes.
do you see that over there? Why is there a bat flying around in the sunlight? That is not a normal thing, right?
It is also an extraordinarily clumsy flyer, and it is also a very large bat. I mean, it is like a bat the size of a Great Dane.
Is it a breakfast-sized bat?
Mira has.
Oh yes.
I mean, Paige, I'm going for my sword at this point again, because last
I think
time
headed right towards us.
a man-sized bat descended upon our camp. I believe it was a vampire.
It's true.
Fair.
I'll
Have I heard tale of predatory bats in the area?
Have I heard tale of the man bat?
Ooh, the man bat.
Sure. There are some. The mountains in particular have a bad reputation for animals of unusual size. So if you were going to find a bat the size of a Doberman, this would be the place you would do it.
Oof.
Is it Doberman or the Great Dane? Because those are two
Dane.
breeds.
Dane. Sorry, I said Doberman. I meant Dane.
I'll fire a warning arrow at it. I'll choose one of the noisemaker arrows.
Is it natural to the area too? I'm curious.
Make me a. Are they natural to the area too? Roll.
I can't speak with animals and yell after it.
Just start yelling at it.
Too far.
I mean, bats have giant ears, you know.
Sadly,
I have a 21. Yeah.
The coloration looks completely wrong for this area of the world. It's like its fur is like really dark black, but then it like tufts to almost orange and red in some areas. Like the coloration is completely off.
Mira's eyes narrow and she goes, I think it's an invasive species. Better light it up to be sure.
Andrew, you get an inspiration point. I
What's
think I took one away from you earlier, so.
Yes.
what's the bat's reactions to a loudly whistling arrow going off at starboard bow?
Annoyance, I think, is appropriate.
Wait, why are you why is Joe answering?
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Starting to make me suspicious.
How come that was a weird answer when I talked to it in that? Shouldn't it?
So the bat continues flying towards your campfire.
It does not seem to be stopping.
Hey, the fuck? I say in bat, squeak.
Am I close enough to hear him?
It's sensitive hearing.
Okay. I'll squeak back. Hey, it's me, Wildfire. How's it going?
Mira's like, it's right in lightning bolt range. I can hit from here.
So Sylvia reaches out and gently takes Mira's shoulder and turns the turret away from the bats. And it's like, that would be very amusing. The bats are saying this is Wildfire, and I seem to believe it. It seems to be very trustworthy bat. I think they do a great job working for city council or perhaps, superintendent of schools. I wouldn't trust
Never
it.
trust a bat.
But why don't we let it get a little bit closer and see if it turns into a wildfire rather than us making it turn into a wildfire while it's 50 feet up and then has to,
Letting bats so close, you get diseases.
Cringe. Yikes.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Too soon. Way too soon. Way too soon.
We're gonna have to come up with a bat/doppelganger protocol.
So it's
True.
So if I land and bite Roz, give him a disease, then I can turn back into a human. Is that how this curse works now?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
I mean, do you choose me? I'm probably the most resistant to your horrible diseases.
You're a
Jump from
challenge.
bats to lizard.
Yep. So as soon as the bat lands, kind of a wave of magical energy ripples over it, and then Wildfire kind of stands up from the form of the bat that was kind of crouched crouched down.
Who the hell taught you to do that?
Well, I mean, no one taught me to do that. The witch turned me into a bat so I could get here pretty quickly.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? I mean, like, I could leave if you want me to leave, I guess.
Do you
want me to walk out of camp and walk back in? Would that make you feel better?
Are you just in
it?
Okay.
Well, it's good to see you, Wildfire. Did you learn what you wanted to learn?
Yes, I believe I have enough knowledge that if something unusual happens to our sensing device, that I will be able to repair it. I think I understand enough of the spell to do that now.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Only
Good.
a giant.
Oh, you guys killed the giant? Cool.
Technically, we killed a little giant, but I believe Ross was talking about a very large stone giant, huge.
What?
That apparently they like the rocks in my head. They think they're cool. So if we meet any, that'll be a conversation starter.
They like the rocks in your head.
Apparently, they're not just random rocks, but they're ancient remnants of the Gala Moor, the same creatures that created the wall that we were stationed at all those years ago.
Huh. Interesting.
So basically, the mystery deepened.
And
Where'd you
apparently
get?
they're very the Galamore are very reclusive, so finding one probably won't be easy to ask about those rocks.
So if you're near a really big boulder, and you got some time to kill, just kind of, talk to it nicely and see if it responds.
Fair enough. I mean, we could ask the dwarves, I suppose. They probably have some connections to Galamore, given their proclivities.
Their dwarfiness.
They're dwarven proclivities, like mining things.
Uh-huh. Just dig yourself deeper, Wildfire.
I was about to say this is something surprisingly racist.
The next you're going to tell me that all dwarves have an innate sense for stone.
They do. They do. They're all really good at it.
And they're all resistant to poison or something?
They are.
You are not built for a post-Tasha's world, Wildfire.
I thought you were better.
No.
This
You can't change
Wildfire.
any of those features. You can change stats, and you can change talents, and you can proficiencies. But you can't change stone sense. There's nothing you can do about it.
I
You can-
thought
you can-
you
No,
were
that's-
better than this.
It's called stone cunning.
I was done cutting. I apologize.
You can do a purely custom origin.
Well, sure, but then you're not a dwarf, right? You're a
Oh,
Power
Our
Ranger.
audience also
Call yourself a dwarf. You're still a dwarf.
No, you're a Power Ranger at that point.
What about
sorry.
the Scottish accent, though?
I mean, anyone can speak with a Scottish accent. I mean,
I should make all dwarves in this world Texan.
yes, please.
You want all dwarves in this world to be Texan? Because this
Please,
is how you
that'd
get a
be
world
great.
full of Texan dwarves.
It,
I thought all orcs were Texan.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Nope, you're right. You're right. You're right.
do you want Texans? This is how we get Texans.
I mean, we should be so lucky.
Yeah, right.
I was hoping that they'd be stocky, but then have these giant 10-gallon hats that sort of make up for the rest of the.
Looks
So
like
are they all just Sam now? Is that what I just heard?
that is what I just
Yeah.
heard.
I'm in. Let's do it.
So Wildfire, you got here
Reskinning dwarves.
just in time for our morning, travels. So hopefully you're not too tired from your flappity flapping.
Nope, totally fine.
You missed breakfast, but I do have some jerky if you want it.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Totally fine. Every way.
Russ will take a bite out of it and pack it up.
I did mention we killed a small giant, right?
Is that its flesh that he's eating?
I mean,
No.
Probably not.
No,
hopes.
this is actually rabbit. Like, Goose has been obsessed with all the different ways that you can eat rabbit, so...
Sure. That's what Ross keeps telling us. I think it's Ross is obsessed with all the different ways you can eat rabbit, and Goose is just enjoying the spoils of it, ultimately.
Ooh.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Money is delicious.
It's just such a versatile meat.
Boil and mash them, stick them in a stew. It's great. It's fine.
Right. So, now that we have recovered Wildfire, what are we doing?
I mean, we're having a spirited discussion about how ducks are versatile meat as well, but we're not going to find any ducks up here in the mountains. As we pack up and start heading towards the Shyvar Pass, or further along the Shyvar.
I would like to
Gosh,
recognize Old Slow Tiger's beautiful line. I just flew in from Aglarond, and boy, are my arms tired.
Well, I guess that's efficient. You fly with your arms, and then you walk with your feet, and by the time your legs are tired, your arms are good again.
Yeah, it's good to go.
It's an eternal motion machine.
I tell you what, Bologna suggested our dwarves be valley girls, and I just, like, at that point in time, that we lose all shreds of seriousness in this campaign. And Ash, I know I'm stealing your shtick with the dwarves being Texan, but it's a good shtick. It's a good shtick, but I think we're gonna have to make the orcs Texan, because that's everything's bigger in Texas than orcs.
Inspiration's got to come from somewhere, Paige.
Yeah. And Ash is among the best. All right, so you continue on the Shyvar Pass, trekking through various sorts of terrains, and it's a lot of ups and downs. And you spend most of the day hiking and are getting kind of towards sunset. You feel like you'll be tomorrow. You'll be able to reach the dwarves. And ahead of you, Mira and Ross hear voices talking in a language that neither of you know.
Not too busy, Sammy Moraine.
Yes.
I will stop the group from moving forward,
Mhm.
assuming that
You
I'm
hear
still
that?
kind of scouting up ahead a little bit. There's somebody up ahead. I can't understand them, though.
Yeah, and it's from a kind of reading the tone. You hear like snatches of song and sometimes like exchange of words, then laughter. The voices are fairly high pitched compared to all of y'all, and they don't seem to be aware of you, and they don't seem to be concerned. They sound like they're having a good time.
We may be able to go around them. What is your thoughts, Victor?
I think we should see what they are, at least. Maybe talk to them. I mean, is it dwarves? We're literally looking for dwarves.
It's a strange place for a party.
I could try to sneak closer, but I can't guarantee they won't spot me. There are very few places to hide in this terrain.
Wait, so you say you hear singing and you hear singing, and your first response is let's sneak towards them?
Why don't we send Hewitts? Right?
I mean, he's already flying there, Paige. I don't know, like, but
Hewitt
these
can
people
do
we're
it.
talking about.
All right, so Hewitt flies up there and comes back and says, "They're small folk, and there's 6 of them, and they are brightly colored, and they seem to be very interested in a patch of blackberries."
Do they have red hats?
No, I think none of them are wearing hats. There is one that was kind of red, but there's also one kind of blue, and there's one that's kind of green, and there's one that's kind of yellow, another one that's kind of blue, and one that's kind of purple.
The fuck is
Not
that?
yet, though.
2 + 1 + 1 + 1.
No, it's
is...
definitely 1 + 2 + 2 + 1 + 2.
Ah. Let's go check them out. They seem harmless.
Yes.
Or they're horrible monsters. One of the two. I begin walking forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
We approach them in our standard marching order.
Okay. So as you get close, you see heads pop up above a blackberry briar, and you see a 6-pack of gnomes looking back at you with some confusion on their faces.
They're confused about people walking down a mountain pass.
Well, we didn't expect anybody to be here.
Bonjour.
Oh, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Parlez Elven?
Oui.
Ah. So a gnome woman with a purple shock of hair comes forward and chatters at you in Elven. Hi, how are you doing? What are you doing here? We don't know people this way. We're a little surprised to see you.
We are heading to visit the dwarves of Shyvar Pass.
Oh, she turns around to the rest of the group and says something that you presume is, dwarf Shyvar Pass. And they all like, lots of them kind of making faces.
I'm picking up from the response. I'm picking up from the response that you do not. You have perhaps some reservations. Would you maybe share them with us? In exchange, we would be happy to share some wine, and I believe I have some candies with me.
Oh, well, we definitely like candies. The one with a red shock of hair comes forward and also prattles at you in Elven. No, the dwarves are nice folk. We really like them. We get along with them really well. They don't like to be up on the surface so much, but we do. I mean, it's a symbiosis. It works very well. They're very nice people. But they're kind of in the middle of a big fight right now. That's a face. They're kind of in the middle of a big fight right now. I don't think now's a very good time to go visit them. They're a little busy. Very busy.
What are they in a fight with?
That one.
Oh, it's ogre season. Every summer, when we get to the height of summer, the ogres come out. The trolls start feeling pretty froggy, and they come out too. And they got some ettins in with there, a couple of hill giants. Ooh, those guys are bad. There's a whole chatter about hill giants. Ugh.
Wait a minute. Where do the frogs come in?
Actually, do you speak Elven?
Damn it.
Also, I just checked my sheet and I speak Sylvan, so I don't know if I'm speaking an outrageous accent or if I need to blow my bard ability to speak and understand, but I will do that.
They were speaking in what you can only presume is Gnomish. But if you said bonjour in Elvish, they would happily chat back with you in Elvish.
But do they do so in Sylvan, or do I just speak and understand all languages for 10 minutes?
I mean, you tell me, man. You said hello in Elvish. They talk back to you in Elvish.
No, he has to retcon that because he doesn't know Elvish.
Yes, I know Sylvan. It's like
you're an Aglarond and you don't speak Elven?
Spanish?
Victor speaks Elvish.
I went to seminary school and I speak celestial and infernal maps.
Just use your fancy pants ability.
I also am an Aglarond and don't speak Elven, but Ben,
you got to pass.
I speak Sylvan, so yeah.
High five!
All right. Well, if you said hello in Sylvan, they also understand Sylvan.
Yes.
They will be chattering back at you in Sylvan. So back to the frogs. Back to the frogs. They all look at you and look confused and said, no one said frogs. There's not any frogs. Are there ever giant frogs there? Man, a giant frog would be scary. They could just pull us up in one bite. Yeah, it'd be just like a fry. Yeah, giant frogs, man. How big do you think they'd be? Big as a boulder? Yeah, probably big as a boulder. Big as a house? Yeah, maybe even big as a house. Bigger than a chicken coop. I think so.
You said that the ogres are frogs.
No. We said the trolls start feeling froggy. It's a gnomish expression that means that you're feeling kind of jumpy and you jump around and you make big jumps. So the trolls start getting pretty excited and they get running around fast and they get the zoomies. And
wait a minute, there are trolls there too.
Yes, there are trolls. The fellow with kind of greenish hair comes forward and says, "Yes, there are trolls." Ogres, giants and ettins.
And frogs and dwarves.
And no frogs. No frogs, sir. No frogs.
Victor, how are we going to win a 6-way battle here? I don't understand.
We'll probably ally ourselves with the toads.
Yes, the toads.
And then at the end, the eagles will come and just kind of put a bow on everything.
Seems appropriate.
Well, this conversation is going. Sylvia pulls out a selection of saltwater taffy and starts handing out pieces to the gnomes.
You're not a fae, are you? You're not fae, right? Because you look like a satyr, but not satyr. Like, do we owe you something for this candy? Because if so, thank you, but no.
I, as a agent of the Foresters of Aglarond, thank you for this information. In exchange for us talking to you, freely give you this gift of candy. Nothing is.
Oh, okay, sure. That sounds great. Would you like some blackberries? These are really good.
Sure.
Very delicious. We were going to make blackberry wine out of them, but we're happy to share them with you. They're very delicious. Also high in vitamin C.
I would hear some blackberries.
Yeah, I'll definitely take some.
They hand you like a small basket of gnomish make of blackberries.
Well, my gnomish friends, I think for us this is actually an opportunity because we were hoping to ask some favors from the dwarves, and we also like to kill ogres and their ilk. So perhaps we can get in their good graces through that. We've already defeated a party of ogres yesterday.
And trolls a few days before that.
Trolls by proxy, basically.
Those were the saddest trolls ever. So sad.
Gravity. It happens.
Oh, well, if you're going to go fight the trolls, then good for you. We don't generally fight the trolls. I mean, if they ever got into our homes, we would absolutely fight them. And most of them, we just run away from them and hide because they're not actually very perceptive. So you can hide from a troll really easy. The best way to hide from a troll is to get behind a stone, but also to blend in with natural camouflage. So you can get some plants in there, maybe some pine straw. You're doing great. You're treated to a 5-minute dissertation on how to hide from trolls.
I take notes.
Are there anyone among the dwarves that sort of is leading this yearly foray against the ogres?
Oh yes, that would definitely be Freya. Freya is always the one. If there's going to be fighting, is Freya in charge of it. Brangian's there too, but she's more of a field commander. But Freya's in there just knocking heads. That's what she likes to do. Do you know Freya? Do you know Brangian? They're the queens of the dwarves.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've heard of the queens of the dwarves.
Yes.
It's very honorable that they are leading the charge from the front. Although I understand Brangian will go almost anywhere to get away from her children.
Really? Where'd you hear that? I've never heard that before. What do you mean?
It's just talk around the barracks and in the Forester.
The Forester barracks talks about one of the queens of the dwarves. That's odd.
We don't have much to talk about. So.
Well, both of them were very powerful adventurers once upon an edition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that makes sense. They were adventurers, but I think their adventuring days are mostly gone. They have kind of a lot of gray in their hair these days. They're pretty old even for dwarves.
Well, we will we'll proceed with caution since you've told us there are ogres and such around, but I don't think we will be deterred by this situation.
Well, you just should be very careful. And the dwarves, they get a little crotchety when they're being assaulted. I mean, who doesn't really? It's very understandable, and most people would feel the same way.
Well, we'll keep the trophies from any further ogres we kill, just to show as a sign of good faith, I guess. Do they offer a bounty, the giant? I mean, the dwarves for ogres?
We do still have troll heads. We cashed in a bounty on.
That's true. I guess what I'm getting at is, you say they get crotchety.
Those are going to smell.
Are they actively opposed to outside forces like stealing their ogre killing festival, or are they happy when more the merrier?
Is this a 40 ogre winter kind of situation, or a 40 ogre summer?
Well, they do offer for any of their own that is a great enough warrior to kill 40 ogres or trolls or giants. They call them all ogres, even if they're not really ogres. It's just an old tradition among the dwarves that I don't really know why they do it. But anyone who can kill 40 ogres is automatically a clan leader at that point because of their combat prowess. And it's not a clan leader, but like a what's the word for it in Dwarven? I'm not really sure of the word for it in Dwarven, but it means great fighter. They get a rank of acknowledgement. It's a big deal.
Victor
Only 40? Let's do this.
Victor makes a mental note to kill no more than 39 ogres.
But with our two troll heads, we're like 5% of the way there.
Yeah.
It's per person, not per group. Yeah, it has to be individually, not as a group. Well, I mean, if the group of you brought in, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 200 ogre heads, you would all get it, but, you know. It's not like 40 ogres as a team.
So, another question. Have you seen or heard of any Gaelic Moor around here?
So that gets a set of very wide, surprised eyes from your new gnomish friends. And they kind of go into a rapid consultation in Gnomish. And the woman with the blue hair steps forward and says, my Gram said that she once had a picnic with Gaelic Moor. Well, she was actually having a picnic on the Gaelic Moor at the time with my grandfather. They were courting at the time, and normally they went down the lake, but the lake water wasn't very nice, so they ended up going up to the mountains and had a picnic on a Gaelic. Well, they thought it was on a rock, and so they had a picnic on the rock, and things got apparently a little heated. And then all of a sudden, the rock opened his eyes and started talking to him, and you should have seen him trying to put on their clothes that fast. But what happened is that they actually made friends with the Gaelic Moor, and it was kind of a family legend.
How long ago was this?
Well, I'm about 70 years.
And did you say...
Sorry, where was this?
Did you say... Yeah.
We'll go with Ben first, and then Andrew. Ben, Silvio says...
Pardon me, where was this this meeting of the legends occurred? Also, I totally understand. I have met all kinds of interesting creatures that, somehow I happen to be doing things on top of them.
I don't remember which rock it is. It had to be near home. Well, we don't want to take it too near home. Well, and I think it might have been down by the lake. Yeah, but remember the landslide that happened down the lake? That moved a lot of stuff.
And then I look at Mira.
My question is moot now.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But the after the incident, the Gaelic Moor got up and walked away. But it looked like a whole mountainside.
The entire mountainside. How big was this thing exactly?
Mountainside size? They shrug. Big? These folk are, 2.5 or 3 feet tall. So, like...
Big doesn't really narrow it down.
So,
We're big. We're big.
You're big. It was real big. Well, thank you very much for stopping and talking to us, and thanks for the candy. But we wish we could home because the sun will be setting for too long, and we were hoping to bring these back for blackberry pies. Blackberry pie is very good.
I hope to have some of yours someday. Good luck in your journeys.
Ah, yes. All right. Goodbye. And you're treated to a pleasant chorus of goodbyes. Before we get started back into our fun content, as you may or may not know, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the new D&D Splat book, dropped last week. How are we feeling about this, kid?
I am confused. What's in it?
Words.
What's not in it? So, who wants to start on the list of what is in it?
Great ideas about how to manage a session 0.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes.
That is a cool feature of it, I feel.
NPC classes.
Oh, so you can add class levels to monsters?
No. Like
Oh,
experts.
little third edition.
No. Experts and warriors and magic
Oh,
users,
gotcha.
right? It's like the sidekick classes, I think, is what they call them.
Sure.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But it also gives new options for player character classes. And
Oh, does it? I didn't see that.
So
And-
many new
So
options.
many new ones.
And since
There
we
are-
just
1, 2, 3. There's 5 different kinds of artificers.
Yep.
So many artificers.
So since we all just leveled up to 7 at the end of last session, we thought it might be nice to briefly talk about what each of us got from that, so you can kind of anticipate it, and if Tasha's impacted us, because Paige has been kind enough to let some of the Tasha's options take effect retroactively, because she has the heart of a good person.
I keep it in a jar on my desk.
It's still beating. That's how you can tell it's a good person.
Yeah.
I'm going to say some of the some of the stuff that I'm most impressed by are some of the new spells in the book. Like, I don't think I've seen one that's not like, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, just so Paige is aware, like, once I have the ability to take us to a different world by dreaming, this campaign is going literally entirely off the rails.
Like, I'm still watching Stargate right now, so let me get through season 3 and 4 before you get there, okay? Please.
Just literally,
I
I'm
beg of
gonna
you.
turn the entire train just some random direction.
I
We're going to
like
Dark
point
Sun,
out-
people. Get on board.
I would just like to point out that spell is also on the bard list, and you either have to have a magic item from that place, or you have to sleep with a person, and the odds that Sylvia will get some components for that are pretty high.
Pretty high. That
Yes.
spell is so cool to me. I think there could be such a cool campaign made out of that for sure.
Why don't you tell our
I-
folks a little more about the spell? For instance, what it's called.
Oh, I don't remember the name. It's like Blue Dreaming, Blueness.
Blue curtain, right?
Yeah, Dream of the Curtain, I believe.
Yeah.
Dream of the Blue Veil.
Oh, there we go.
Blue Veil, yes.
Potato, potato.
I'm blue, dabbin deebin doodah.
Oh, God.
Veils are not as scary as curtains, because
Take-
veils are translucent and curtains are not.
Yes. Coda, you may have an inspiration point. I see what you did there.
Is Wildfire going to be like, hold your breath, make a wish, count to 3, and
That's
then
correct.
break into pure imagination?
Yeah. So it's
I-
interesting because this book brings together a lot of classes that were scattered across other things,
Mhm.
like College of Eloquence, which is from Theros,
Never heard of
Circle of Spores for the Druids, which is from Ravnica. You've got Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade, which were from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, and I think Blade Singer is in here that was also in Skag.
Oh, can we talk about what a missed opportunity the Alchemist was for season 1 of Feats and Fables? Manny would have made the perfect Alchemist Artificer.
You know,
No, you would not. You would want to drink
they're based on
anything-
intelligence, baby.
Hold my beer. Also, drink it.
Fair.
I like all the new summoning spells are really good. Like they are mechanically effective and they look really fun and they don't like eat your actions, which is nice.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to summoning a Star Spawn. It'll be a great day.
I mean, if
I
you
like a lot of the action tweaks,
Like what?
rebalancings.
for instance,
Just thinking about, for instance, the Rangers' whole action economy has been rebalanced, right?
mhm.
Speaking as someone who's played a Ranger extensively for our unmentionable season 1, it's a pretty big change. It's the reason to cast spells at all as a Ranger, rather than just marking everything all the time.
Y'all better believe I will be tossing out some favored foes. Like, just being able to say, like, what is it, per battle?
Yeah. And you get a mark. And you get a mark.
Oh, man. You know what I really am interested in this week? Ogres. Mm-hmm.
You're really
It's
down.
true.
You're down with
It's
ogres.
true. It's interesting to see that marks have made it back into the common parlance, and marks were a big thing from 4th edition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting for us to go kind of back and pull things out of 4th edition that were good. So there were plenty of good things in 4th edition.
There were lots of good things in that edition. Lots.
I agree. I liked 4th edition.
But
It's kind of like those people that they buy a bunch of garbage and then they melt it all down. At the end, they show off they've got this little nugget of gold they got out of it. Like it only took us 30 tons, and look what we got.
damn.
So I
Damn, Ron.
disagree, sir. There's plenty of good stuff in 4th edition. This is a fight for another day. I am super excited about the Psy Warrior fighter. I have always loved psionics just because they're kooky,
Mm-hmm.
and so this would maybe be a way to approach those.
I'd like to see the soul knife in action. They look a lot of fun.
Given my dear love for rogues.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna reserve judgment until after I see the psionics in play, because I've been burned.
The psionic playtest, last psionic playtest in Unearthed Arcana I saw was broken. They were as broken for 5th edition as psionics were for 3rd edition, 3.5. Like, that shit was busted.
I'd like to point out that Old So Tiger liked 4th edition enough that he donated 2,000 to Getting Page Inspiration, Ron. So this is on you. This is on you.
I love you, Brian, my brother. Yes, so it's got a lot of good artifacts in there, none of which are appropriate for you at this level. Most of them tend to be kind of higher level stuff. And I have not looked at the Dungeon Master tools, but they have been well reviewed.
I mean, I did add a couple of items to my wish list based on Taj's, so some of which are even appropriate for this level.
I don't think Paige is going to have an artificer just appear and follow you around enchanting all your stuff like you requested.
Why not? It seems totally reasonable to me. I don't even need them to follow me around. They just need to enchant my stuff and then bugger off and never enchant anything ever again.
Yeah. So
I stay there and don't move until I come back.
One thing I did find really interesting, and I think this is going to have some implications in the long run.
Yeah.
Is that higher level artificers can have up to 6 attuned items.
Busted.
Like, talk about expanding a point in the game that feels really limiting.
So I like the attunement system because I played 3.5 and I played 4, and I played them both absolutely as hard as I could. And like my highest level character in 3.5 had like +5. No, I think it was only +3. +3 Holy Demon Bane Lightning Longbow. Right.
Sounds great. I like it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And was dripping with magic items. Like I must have been carting around 30 of them. And then my 4th edition character, like, we had slots, but I had every slot filled, and there was 12 slots or something? 10?
I think there were 10, but
Yeah.
I think the ability to attune other items is taken into account, because they don't actually get much at higher levels if you take that away.
Yeah. As appropriate.
But having more attuned items will definitely be powerful, especially since they can just straight up ignore restrictions on items. So they can have a Holy Avenger or, a Staff of Power, whatever. You don't want them in your party because they just call dibs on everything that's cool. You got to roll off for anything good.
So much like everything is a hunter weapon, everything is an artificer magic item.
Yes.
I can feel Ron's discomfort at the disturbance in the balance.
No, I mean, I haven't played with an artificer, but I think they should be fun and kind of bring some new stuff to the game. I think they're a good new class to introduce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obviously existed for a while at Eberron, but
yeah, I mean, it's been around since 3.5, but we just haven't and then it came back in Eberron in 5. But this is, I think, a reimagining of the class, or an expansion at least.
I hadn't heard about they could use any magic item. I'm kind of like, that feels gross to me because that was the whole point of playing a higher tier thief, was that you could do that. So,
Well, yes, that is. It does take a little something away from the thief. I have to agree with that.
But how many thieves have we actually seen in play?
It is true that has not been enough to motivate many people to choose thief.
I've played thieves quite a bit because fast hands is amazing, and try to argue with me otherwise because the action economy is crazy good.
I'm fast hands is great. I will never not say fast hands is great. Fast hands is great. Not great enough to make me play a thief, but it's great.
That's because you just have arcane tricksters in the blood.
I do enjoy me some arcane tricksters, but I also have another kind of thief in there.
What
I'm
is
assassin. Yeah, I'm an assassin. I don't play him board, but I have an assassin.
So is anybody else getting or replacing any of their existing abilities with any of the new stuff for their class? I mean, I talked a little bit about the favored foe, for example, replacing favored enemy.
Well, so I think both Ben and I, right, both the bards and the wizards, just get some extra stuff. Hooray!
Yeah.
Extra
Happy
stuff.
birthday!
Yeah, doesn't Mira get some expanded spell list as well?
Get some what?
An expanded spell list is one of the options for the class.
Yes, and it's actually nice because a lot of the new spells have things that aren't quite as greedy on concentration front.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Because the druid is like a balancing act for concentration. So,
I feel
like aura of vitality. Right? I'm sure it's got some drawbacks. The fact that it basically is an aura that just stays on for a whole minute and just sort of goes around and heals people is pretty hot.
Does it also give resistance to necrotic damage? Or am I
It
thinking-
doesn't say that.
That's a different.
You might be thinking of something else.
It is. There's some.
But it's a 30-foot orb though, which is pretty significant.
That's
Well, rather
Battlefield
a
almost.
30-foot. Yeah, it is, and it only sucks up bonus actions, so that's pretty solid.
It's super nice.
But 2d6, like the persistent 2d6 healing to different targets across the battlefield.
Yeah,
pretty significant.
Fabulous. So here's the real question
Yeah.
I have for you, Dr. Wong. Going to be
Yeah, what's
stacking
that?
Revivify?
Revivify?
Of course. I mean, I feel like it's just one of those things I need in my first aid kit because, yeah, like you
Because
just need it.
the rare occasion that she hits, it's for boatloads of damage.
Like, I have to counterbalance my monsters with my dice.
It's fair.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah.
buddy.
Definitely keep Revivify up.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically why I'm going to be having this Pearl of Power around for, if nothing else, right? Like, it'll just, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a third level slot that I get back. So it's like, oh, in case of emergency, bust out your Pearl.
That sounds like a euphemism for something dirty.
Yeah.
Something Sylvia.
Polish that Pearl.
It's really
Yes.
weird that your pearl just has break in case of emergency written on it.
Yeah, like I'm going to be playing. Imagine that, playing in a Frost Maiden game, and I am definitely going to want to use one of the new psionic classes. I think.
Shit's gonna be loopy.
Try out something new.
I mean, I loves it. I hope it's good. We'll find out. All right, so back to this game. You are traveling through the Shyvar Pass. You have been given tips from your new gnome friends about the giants that are attacking the dwarves, and you are continuing to head through the Shyvar Pass, I guess, that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are not
Sounds
turning around all of a sudden just to throw you off.
Well, so
I mean, you're not above it.
Paige, you said we're still about a day's travel away? Is that from the blueberry bush?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as you're walking, it's really nice. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's that cool, beautiful summer blue. And past the gnome berry pickers, you have there's a field that's full of flowers in it. And as you are walking through it, Mira and Ross, you feel like you're being watched. Somewhere up by the rock line, you thought you saw a flicker of movement, and you feel like you're being watched.
Does Hewitt also feel like he's being watched?
Oh, Hewitt. I forget about the bird. What? Yes, Hewitt also feels like he's being watched.
Excellent.
A rock falls from the sky.
All right. Paige, as we're going, I'm going to take a more stealthy position, giving you a 17 on my stealth. And once I feel like I'm in a good spot to not be seen, I'm going to close my eyes and kind of focus my senses a little bit. And I'm going to reach out with my primeval awareness. Do I sense any of the following within 1 mile?
Oh, this is a fun game. I love this game. I love this game. Bring it on. Bring it on.
I'm determined to make this power useful.
It does. It's great.
Aberrations.
No.
Celestials. Why are you having to
No.
think about that so much?
No.
Dragons?
DM is sus.
So sus.
No.
Elementals?
Yes.
Fae?
Definitely.
Fiends?
No.
Undead?
What if I know? Probably? I don't know. No.
Whew.
Woo, we did it! Yes, nailed it!
With great confidence.
Let's see. I still don't think this actually gives me any useful information.
I think it's just yes, no.
I think it is. Okay. I'm going to stop the party and say, I feel as though we are being watched from up on the ridgeline. Is anybody able to see anything?
So all of a sudden, the very rocks in front of you, I've done the thing wrong. Damn it.
Oh God, we've fallen into a void.
Ooh.
What have I done?
I see something
What
that
have
might
you
be Galen Moore's.
No.
Yep.
I feel like
They seem Gala size, though.
yes.
Yeah, but I figure she'll just use the same picture and just change the scale.
Yes, clearly.
Well, she didn't give us a reference human, so it's really hard to tell how big they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
No. She did give us a reference human. They're just that big.
So
Whoa.
what's gonna happen is that the rocks underneath your feet perk up and say, "We're right here. We can see you." But then I click something wrong on Roll20, and now everything is paying.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that is another brilliant reveal, completely fud up.
I mean, Ross is
It's not even Wednesday.
Ross is gonna kind of jump back and look down to see that he's not stepping on any one.
Hang on just a moment, gentlemen. Let me think about this page for a moment, because I have done something terrible to it. Clearly.
So what did everybody pick up at 7?
Thank you.
I picked up Dimension Door because moving around is always nice. And I picked up Polymorph because turning big bads into snails is also always nice.
That is always hilarious. I picked up
And
Dimension
I like
Doors.
spatial control.
You have spatial
Oh
control?
no, go ahead.
Spatial control?
Like spatial control.
I said I
Jesus.
picked up Wall of Fire because I like spatial control.
Ooh, Wildfire enjoys this wall of fire idea that you have going on. He would like to subscribe to your
you should.
newsletter.
Mira, do we really
Right, and I
need
think-
more fire?
Yes. Also, Ross, you should be excited because you can warm yourself by the wall of fire.
I mean, it definitely has its utilitarian uses. I'm not going to disagree. Like,
Make sure you're on the right side of the wall of fire, otherwise you get really crispy.
no, that sounds delightful.
Ross, what about you?
I took my 4th level of Ranger and got a feat.
Oh, you finally took a 4th level of
Nice.
something? I thought you were going to start going into
So
Paladin.
you're gonna take so next you're gonna take 3 levels of Paladin, right?
I am. You're not wrong. Actually, Paladin, I was thinking more of going into like wizardry, really
Ooh,
getting
that's
used
good.
out of
Do
my
you,
8 intelligence.
You can't. You don't have a high enough intelligence to do it.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
No, like mechanically, you don't have enough intelligence. It's on this piece of paper here. You can't.
Victor gained the war magic ability, so you'll be seeing my booming blade cantrip more often, since I can now make a follow-up attack as a bonus action.
Nice.
So that should be fun.
Will we be
Okay.
seeing it?
I mean, hearing it maybe is more.
Okay, can we all vote now that Mike's next level has to also be Ranger so he can get a second attack?
I mean, honestly, I was
Okay,
thinking
overridden.
we could just leave the level up progression of Ross up to chat.
Ah, excellent,
Ooh,
excellent.
plays?
I like that.
Man, that's
Maybe
what
have it be
we
a
should have
community
done.
challenge.
Oh
to
my God.
decide.
All right, so there you are. No shit, I figured this out. I just clicked the wrong thing in Roll20. And you say, I think we're being watched, and with perfect timing and not actually fucking up Roll20 here, a bunch of rocks right under your feet say, well, of course you're being watched. We're watching you.
Ross is gonna like quite suddenly leap just into the air. Like I don't even know what my standing leap is, but it is
You're going to demonstrate it.
significant.
Yes.
And then kind of land to make sure that he's not stepping on anyone.
I look down. Am I standing on one of them?
You're standing on a rock. It does not appear to be talking to you. You do with that information what you will.
Silvio looks down, realizes that he's wearing a kilt, has no regrets.
Hello?
Hello.
I've been informed I'm supposed to have conversations with boulders.
Okay.
How's it going?
It's a nice sunny day and pretty warm.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Do you enjoy the warmth?
Yeah, it's nice. It's different. It feels good. Yeah.
Good, excellent.
Are you the Galabdor?
So how can you tell a Gelibdor from a Gelibnor? I actually just don't know.
Oh, the Gallimore are very big.
Mountain sized.
Well, I mean,
More
anything from
reclusive.
foothill to mountain-sized, yes.
Do you happen to know the location of any Galamore?
Far side of the Shyvar Pass is where I saw some. But that was a couple of years ago. But they don't move very fast.
Have you seen any ogres?
Yeah, a bunch of them came through here a few days ago.
What about the trolls?
Bunch of them too. As y'all are talking, they're doing that thing where they scooch like an inch at a time, like closer to Victor, just like a little bit. Like you take your eyes off on them, and they're another inch closer.
Every time they do that, I inch away from Victor.
So,
Give him his privacy, like...
have you perhaps noticed I appear to have rocks and crystals related to the Galamore embedded in my head?
We were wondering why a Galibdur had feet like that. Like, you're the strangest Galibdur we have ever met. What about you? Met one? No, I've never met one. What about you? No, I met one.
Is Victor a Galabdor now?
Yeah, they seem to agree. They're like, he's got Heartstone. He's got the same Heartstone we do. And with that, they open their mouths. And they open them like they peel in half, like a Canadian from. It's just rocks, like a Canadian from
South Park.
South Park. Thank you. And inside, they are all made of like the beautiful geode colors.
Fascinating.
Interesting.
And they're about like the stones in Victor Seath.
Cool.
Interesting.
Huh. Mira will like lean way over and peer right into their mouths, just fascinated.
Mm-hmm. They will obligingly open up like a geode a little more.
That's really amazing. She whips out a notebook and starts to do a little scanning.
So
we figured you had the same heartstone as us, so you were part of our local clan of Galabdur.
I hail from the wall that Galeb Moore built.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I normally am around the southernmost end of it, and then I have to patrol the swamp. That's my job most of the time.
Oh, that's not where the Galabdur live.
Nope.
Not in swamps. You can't roll down any hills in there.
Have you tried?
That's why they pay me. It's not great fun.
No, well, we haven't, but swamps are flat by nature because that's where water pools. It's all hydrogeographic. And if it's flat, that's not any good for rolling down.
But if you look closely, you will find many small hillocks poking from the water. They make for excellent cover.
Yeah, but are they hills like those? And they point to the hills of the Shyvar Pass on either side of you.
No.
Yeah, those are hills that are good for rolling down. Like to get up to the top, roll all the way down.
Remember, it'll down and get you in the sensitive place where things are.
Yes, we seem to be at a very unfortunate height for hitting humanoids. We find our powers to be quite great compared to most of them. Only works on about half of them, though. Strangely, I don't know what the difference is.
Well, you mentioned something about ogres. Which way were they headed?
They point farther down towards the Shyvar Pass. My brain is failing at what direction that is, but farther down on the path you go.
I think the important information there would be, is it in the direction of the dwarves, or are they heading in some other direction?
In the direction of the dwarves.
Okay.
Well, it was nice meeting you, and thank you for telling me even more about myself.
Yeah, why does a Galabdur have legs like that? Like, you're all wrong.
We have been following that for many years. He is very, very wrong.
Well,
do you want to open up so we can look at your heartstone? Maybe we can fix it.
Actually, I was gravely injured, and this heartstone was actually used to fix me. So it's kind of holding me together. I think if I open up, things might fall out that I need.
That's a very inefficient way to put a person together.
Yeah.
They look at you pityingly.
But I can reach things off the top shelf.
There's a lot of shrugging. That does seem to be a hell of a superpower. Because they're all, about 3 feet high.
Really on board, yeah.
Well, it was nice to meet you, and they come over and kind of pat at your knees in a friendly way. But then, they kind of waddle up the hill away from you, and you can just see them kind of shaking their heads sadly.
Does that mean that one of those things had their heart ripped out in order to repair your injuries?
I hope not. I really hope not.
I was going to say, it's very impressive, Victor. Now you're a participant to all kinds of families that you have got.
Yes. Well, yeah. Hopefully.
That's really rough.
Hopefully, I'm. My heartstone is like a cultured heartstone that was raised for the intentions of putting in someone's face.
The sustainably harvested
yes.
souls and hearts of rock creatures. That is so common.
and someone tells me different, that's what I'm going to assume that's going to happen. Not that it was ripped from the chest of a baby Galen Durr.
So, are you worried that since it's called a heartstone, that it is actually currently traveling towards your heart?
I wasn't, but I can add it to the list now.
That's good. You should be, I think. Seems very likely, I think.
It does seem like it's a little less sticky-outy than it was a couple weeks
Yeah!
ago.
I mean, it does look a little bit more inside of you than it did before, that's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Do you feel anything pokey on the inside?
No, but I'm not very good at feeling my insides most of the time.
What? Paige, good news. Thanks to the donations of Bologna, you are granted an inspiration to murder us with. I think, though, you have gotten a request from Old So Tiger that it be used specifically against Victor.
Got it. Also, Tiger and Bologna, I can do nothing better than to respect your wishes. So, as you are traveling down the pass,
Wow.
Well, you can't use an inspiration to toss us into a
unbelievable.
Battle.
battle.
Just to a fight.
Damn!
Wow, y'all. Wow.
can't. Where does it say I can't? Do I need to show you my note that says that I can? It's just a note saying I do what I want. Signed, Jeremy Crawford.
All right, guys. I'm gonna try something. Paige, I'd like to use my inspiration to get out of this battle.
Nope.
Oh God.
What if I spend my inspiration and he spends his, and that way we're putting down 2 inspirations? You gotta,
Wait, Ben.
Nope.
Do you mean with our powers combined, we
What if our
form up not a battle?
All right. As you are traveling through the Shyvar Pass, you hear a buzzing.
Fire. Victor's earth. Mira is water.
Clearly.
Somebody's
Ross
gonna
is
have to be hard.
wind. Sylvia's heart. Yay!
Of course. Who else would be hard?
All right. So
Sadly, your heart. I mean, sorry.
buzzing
You are.
in from the north, you see 4 giant insects. They are WYSIWYG
Yum.
as far as size.
Ah!
That's unexpected.
Yes. And they have narrow heads with a long proboscis on the front. They have kind of a hard central thorax with a wheeled keel on top. They have wings, 6 legs, 2 antennae, all the things you'd expect on an insect, even one that's 10 feet long.
I mean,
And they would like
they
to
have 6 legs.
Yes, that's how you know they're an insect. And with that, they decide that they would like to do battle with you. You do not have to respond. But
I'm gonna go ahead and roll this initiative anyway, just in case.
okay.
Just
Well, Anonymous, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you so much. Yay!
Anonymous. Wait! Stop the music! Stop the music!
3
there we go.
month sub for Gelatinous Rube. Thank you, Anonymous.
This will make it all worth it, even if we die horribly to whatever these things are.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
I do have to fight this game. Have to fight next game. Don't test me, boy.
You know the best part about this?
Don't test me, boy. That true words were never spoken.
I can't actually hear the music, so I don't know what I'm dancing to here.
It's beautiful. I
Coda,
love it.
whether you could or could not hear the music is not going to make any difference for your ability to dance,
It's
white
so
boy.
Mike, the music's in your heart the whole time.
It
It
was.
is.
It was.
All right, so that was a 3-month sub.
A 3 month sub.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh! All right, thank you so much. Mwah. You know I love you. All right, I'm gonna put on this music now.
battle.
Yes, we will start the battle music. Where the fuck are you, battle music? Oh, you're just very quiet. Okay. I got excited. I only rolled for 1 insect.
I haven't rolled my initiative either.
Now, combat music too loud. There's no happy point with that music. All right.
Nailed it.
3. Classic wizard initiative.
No, it's the clerics that go very slow.
No. You want a slow wizard so that all the enemies can group up on the fighter and then fireball.
Sure.
Yep, nailed it. All
right. With that, bug number purple goes. Bzzz. I fly very fast.
How fast do you fly?
I don't know. Like
That is the question.
60 or something ridiculous like that. 50.
She doesn't tell you nothing. That's what's going on there.
How high are they?
They're about 15 feet off the ground. However, this one goes up to Ross and then furiously flails at Ross with 4 of its front legs and its beaky proboscis. This is my beaky proboscis.
That's fine. I flail back at you.
Here are my 4 legs.
Ross, this might be officially the grossest thing that has ever happened to you.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That 17, 25, 22, those all hit. I don't
All right.
I don't like that 3 of your 5 attacks hit.
Yes, and
Holy
every
crap.
time it attacks you, it slurps up blood from your body, and you can see its abdomen start to descend. Victor,
Not good.
I was using that.
I need a blood meal in order for my young to live. You'll be fine without that blood.
Giant insects, huh?
Yep.
All right. Victor will.
Except that there are giant insects in the world.
Yes.
Regretfully.
He will walk forward. He
Regret.
will pull his greatsword from where he keeps it sheathed on his back, and he will start swinging.
So you actually reach your hand back for the sword, and you realize the sword is already in your hand.
Oh, well, that's convenient. And all right, so I'll start the attack, and I'll just do great weapon mastery to start, just to see how it's going.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you can. Let's see what pays off.
Okay, 24 is going to hit.
That's
12
the
12 to
damage.
hit? Yeah, 12 will not hit.
All right, I'll try again. I'll roll better this time, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
Yes,
will!
you will! Woo!
Crit.
Nice!
And a great
I'm
weapon.
glad you did that.
So 30 points of damage. That my feelings are hurt.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah,
All right,
Not your pal, buddy.
and then as a bonus action, I shall attack again using my great weapon mastery ability.
Nice.
It's like it feeds itself. Nothing better than a great weapon master crit.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Actually, the crit is not so hot for a great weapon master because it's the +10 on damage from the great weapon mastering with the.
Yeah, but a crit allows me to make a bonus action attack.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Nothing to stop that.
Yes. All right.
It was only for 4.
So you cut off like 2 of this insect's legs and gash its chitinous thorax, and it looks definitely like you've hurt its feelings. All right, that is number.
So then,
Oh, keep going.
oh wait, do I want?
Do you want the action surge?
Doesn't have to be an action surge.
I'll actually keep it in my pants. I'm done.
Okay.
Who are you and what have you done with Victor?
This one buzzes to about here and hovers. This one,
that just seems ominous.
yes. Attack Silvio.
What?
We go for the small one in the back.
Silvio, why are you not
Here's
going
my
to a
beaky
wall?
proboscis. Beak.
Paige, just
Yes.
as a well, too late now.
What?
I should probably go right after this one because for some reason Mira is stacked at the bottom.
Huh, I thought I had sorted these. Hang on.
Yeah, Mira should be.
So it was that one, Victor, this one. Okay, sure.
Right.
I don't know what happened. We'll do that later.
Oh, good. You've got
I don't
time
mind
to
it.
give Victor a wall of fire.
Well, I don't know if the wall will. I actually like thread wall between Victor and the giant bug?
Oh, you can run the wall through the giant bug because you can determine that the other side is.
Oh, right.
And it'll fuck them up.
Okay, so I have either straight lines or curves, right, as my option. Is that correct?
By curves, I think you mean an actual circle.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I make the thing kind of like that, I think that's what I'm going for.
Okay. How
So-
tall is this wall?
20 feet, and it is actually not a wall. It is currently, we're calling this the mid-ocean ridge vent.
Okay.
Okay.
So I actually don't know how to draw that line, but you know. Here we go.
Yeah, just click
line.
on the.
About like that?
Oh, okay. That looks sure. Let's just say that.
Shouldn't be in Rass's square.
Why am I on fire?
Yeah.
Grass
I
is
mean,
tough.
it's great, but also, ow.
Hang on.
My friend, just remember, you asked for this. We had this discussion. I said there was a idea.
Stop trying.
Trying hard. Here, I could probably manage a
It's like
decent
that?
line.
I can't
I don't
see
see
anything.
anything yet.
Nope.
There we
Wrong.
go.
Oh, but
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Harder and uncut.
Faster.
Yes. 6 feet long. Let's be.
Right. All the way.
Yeah.
All right. The power of our. Now I can't. There.
Longer. Yes.
Why you gotta be so
More verbs. Adjectives, damn it.
difficult? There you go.
There we
Oh,
go.
you're so
Happy?
teacher.
He's a
Yes,
biology
I am actually-
teacher.
I was
Science.
never happy. Yes,
Not
that's great.
words.
All right, Mira. You cast a wall. I believe my bug saves on their turn.
That is an excellent question. Let's see what the mission ridge vent actually does. When it appears, each creature within the area must make a dexterity saving throw. So let's have that happen.
Jam. 19, sir.
You make it, so I take half damage.
Yep.
Alright.
Which will be 12. 12 points of more
That
damage.
is more damage than I can take.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
The bug crisps and chars and makes a horrible smell and then falls to the ground.
Ugh.
Dude, and we get the smell of all Rass's blood, too.
Ooh.
Burning.
Yeah.
Burning.
If Ross hadn't gotten all his blood sucked inside, maybe it'd be like lobster.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. These bugs are gonna fly
Yeah.
over this wall and get behind you. And I don't have
Eh.
map over there. Can we just take this whole party and move it more towards the middle of the map?
Sure, go for it.
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, they're gonna fly over the wall?
Yes. I did mention they were flying at about 15 feet.
Hmm.
And these guys
I
wait
was where that
here.
was a risk. I really just wanted to try this spell out.
There's nothing wrong with logic to see what your thing does.
One cast, one kill. Can't complain about that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, then bug number blue, electric boogaloo.
Oh boy.
All right, so. All right, so I am going to fly over the wall, and I am
Good.
going to get on Victor and Ross because that is as far as I can go. Victor, I know it looks like this bug is on top of you, under you, but it's actually just above you,
All right.
square above.
So, but it's in the wall then.
Yeah, it's next to it.
All right, I think I have 5 feet more. Of
Shift it.
It'll be over both.
I wouldn't
of
think
them.
that it would. Oh boy.
It will not voluntarily stop in the wall. All right, so I'm going to attack Victor, I guess. Here's my beaky proboscis. Ching. Here are my claws. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh. Ooh. Paige,
Nice.
who are you?
After the last 2 weeks, y'all can say nothing. Absolutely nothing about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I leave the totaling of damage as a exercise for the interested student.
All right.
They're interested.
I'll take 3 points of damage. Well done, Paige.
All right, fine, Ron. We'll
No.
take.
I got it. It's 36. 36 damage. Does anything weird happen to me with the blood sucking or anything?
Nope. It just consumes some of your blood. We'll get to anything like that later.
All right.
Alrighty, Ross.
Well, I mean, if this thing is directly above me, it is exposed its fleshy underbelly, right? So
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and stab at that.
Make with the belly stabbing.
And I'm going to give Goose a command to guard Silvio.
Okay.
We'll deal with that in just a moment. So, let's see here. I'm going to attack with my longsword. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
That will be 13 points of magical slashing damage.
All right. Taken.
And then for Goose's turn, she is going to move over to Silvio. Oh, hold on. I did forget something. As I slash at it, Goose is going to spit her acid, just like we've been practicing, with her infused strike. So she's going to deal an extra d6 damage. So 3 more acid damage into that wound.
Taken.
So she's going to move over, and she's going to ready an action to attack anything that comes close to Silvio.
You know, it's funny. Poor girl cannot catch a treat for nothing. Like, every treat you throw her just smacks her straight in the face. She's eerily accurate with that poison spit.
We've done a lot of practice.
All right. Bug number yellow is going to zoom in. Frack. I only have 50 feet of movement. Fine. I will buzz to here. And then I will take an action to dodge. Silvio. These things seem to be fighting with a strangely coordinated and intelligent fashion.
First, I want to say thank you very much, Mira, by casting your wall. By casting your wall, you have moved the entire combat and made it so that that thing did not have range to reach me, so...
Here I thought you were going to, like, whip out some citronella and throw it into the fire.
Yeah.
If I had that as an option, I would. I also had plans that something might actually get to me, and that should like occur. So all of this whole actually planning before my turn thing didn't work out so well.
Well, we know you're going to run up to the wall.
Thank you.
Because you always run up to the wall.
I have just banished Paige from the game.
That's okay. We got the rest of this combat. Just go. It'll be fine.
So I will look up at the. You know what? I'm going to look over at the. Well, I can't see through the wall of fire, can I? Nope. All right, that is a petite problem. So first of all, I'm going to inspire Victor because he's rocking that great sword.
I want to point out this is the first actual action that Silvio has taken since his turn has started.
True.
Look. Greatness takes time, baby. You can't rush an artist. Anyway,
I should play a mage in your Frostmaiden game.
Yeah, you're gonna play a psionic mage, except you already said you wanted to play a soul knife, so that's great. I have to plan for psionics in that game now. Back to this game. I inspire my friend Victor. I begin readying a spell for when something is near us on the other side of the wall. Shabam. Shubagle. That's me.
Shabagle.
It is your moment of victory, Wildfire. They're bad guys. You can see them. Well, you can see one of them. Oops.
How so the thing is 20 feet tall. That's problematic.
That was my problem. So I put it you're done.
Because I don't have line of effect to that square.
You have line of effect, just not line of sight.
But I need a line of sight, I would imagine.
For what?
Targeting a fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah, I think it's since you choose a point you see.
Yep.
With a point within range.
Oh.
I think
Your other option is you could have Hewitt fly up and you can see the point.
That's true. Yeah, so Hewitt will kind of fly up and get me a good sight angle. Since I just need a point in range.
Okay.
And the flaming bead will land, in between yellow and blue in such a fashion that it also hits Victor and Ross, but I give them magical bonuses.
Sure.
That's intentional. I'm intentionally doing that.
Here is a dex save from blue. And here is a dex save from yellow.
Whoa, you upcast that fireball. You didn't mess around.
Ugh, they both made their save. BS.
So 13 points of damage.
13 points damage.
We also owe you a...
No.
Okay.
You guys both make your deck saves automatically.
Excellent.
Thanks
And
to
take
my
no- and take no
thanks to my evoker ability.
Yes.
If we were on the other side of the wall, we probably couldn't have done that, but he still would have shot it, so
Yup.
we should be very grateful that he can see us.
Victor.
That's my go again?
Yes.
All right. I really
Other than Silvio, we take our turns quickly here.
you can't burn him. He just gave me bardic inspiration. He's my hero. All right.
You know what? I tell you what. It is 10 o'clock. We're going to start our next show right here at this point. It's convenient because it's the top of the round.
All right.
Well, the chances I'm going to remember that I readied when I readied for next week. The chances are small, very small.
0.
I mean, I'm going to say that they're just as thin as me remembering that I've readied Goose to protect you, so...
You know what? Take notes, children. Write it down so you don't have to remember it.
That
You have a
seems like
whole
lot of
notes
work.
section in D&D Beyond that you can easily add things
So
into.
much work.
Type.
You people are awful.
No, I was going to make my note on that page.
Too late. Friends, thank you for joining us on this adventure. Please follow, subscribe on Twitch. Thank you so much for the 3-month subscription there, Anocat. Gelatinous Root. Please subscribe on YouTube, support us on Patreon, or at least like us on iTunes. You can find us at Feats and Fables on all of these platforms. Roll20 is our virtual tabletop. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod and Comptech.com, as served by Roll20. Our maps are made in Dungeon Draft today, and the art for our NPCs is from Hero Forge. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters, particularly Gelatinous Rube. Yes, for a 3-month subscription. And also Sally Among Poison and Maxim for the subs over the week. And Deer Dust, our most recent follower. Thank you, chat, for inspiration. We love having you with us. Please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see what happens next. And follow us to adventure! Bye, y'all!